Hey, what's everybody? What's up, everybody? It's Greg Redden. I'm just sitting here smoking a bowl of my triple use, triple personal, double down low, triple supply, personal use, personal supply pot. Only the good kind, the kind I love to smoke so fucking much. What's up, Bam? My best friend in the world here, Bam, sitting here with me. I'm at my ghetto crib. It's looking a little better these days. After I just heaved all the fucking shit out of here that was getting confused on a regular basis. Oh shit, heaving. Wow, I say heaving. I seem to heaved a little bit of out there on the floor. A little bit of a out. Why, you ask? I don't know. Don't ask so many questions. I seem to be smoking that out of my pot pipe, pot can. Anyway, I want to address a few issues here. I'm going to be getting on here a little more. I got a lot of stories to tell from my own experience. I got a lot of stuff that I think could help a lot of other people. Stories from my own experience, things from my own point of view. Not have to go through some of the same shit and fucking McCrab I did. I was thinking McNaughton there, and I said McCrab. It's interesting. We're at a time in this world right now. If you read true history, you can figure out that a lot of the same general things have happened before that are happening now in the expanse of time since this earth was, spawned. And, many civilizations, advanced ones, have risen and fallen. And, of course, that's kind of mirroring some of the things we have now. We have different societies like, like Nazi Germany, not certainly anything against Germany or any place in this universe that is inhabited by beings, because we all come from somewhere, and certainly, anyway, we live in a time where our Earth, most importantly, and everybody on it is most in jeopardy. I can't speak about the rest of the world. I don't have too much knowledge about the current state anywhere in the rest of the world, because I've only been around the U.S. these past few years, and it's sad I don't believe a lot of what comes out of news media, especially the 24-hour news stations. It's designed, and a lot of it's controlled by the government, and it's designed somewhere down the line. It is, if not, let's face it. I mean, they got control on everything on this grid in this country, this mass grid. It's let me get back to what I was saying. I got sidetracked right there. Let me take another hit of this little Snugglebot here. No, I think it is time for a revolution. Now, that's very open to interpretation. That's kind of a semantical thing, but let's look at it from this perspective. It's no coincidence, and I'm being 100% from the heart here, especially in my area, meaning Sioux City, Iowa right now, in the general metro. Things are becoming to look a lot like what happened in Denver a couple years ago when I was there. This stuff follows me, and people think I'm full of shit sometimes, but I've seen this before over and over, and I've learned effective ways to deal with it. But yes, our land's getting cleared. People are dying in mass expanses, and being thrown in prison or incarcerated. Certainly, if anybody goes against any sort of grain, the government, and certainly I choose to do it my own way. We all have our own way to work towards the same thing. We all work in different lines. It doesn't matter what type of field you work in. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter what race you are, sexual, or where your origin is from. We're all beings. It doesn't matter if you're from another planet. Uh, uh, it doesn't. It comes down to who good and bad or right and wrong, which certainly has nothing to do with the majority of the written laws or man-made religion. Society's kind of in a state, and this kind of segues back to the media thing. The minds of the people are being controlled by them. In one way, the media. Certainly, you know, and our legal and justice system is at a time where it's just completely crooked and just overbearingly, corrupt. In a day where we have everything e-filed and e-stamped and it's open to mass e-corruption, I can tell you from firsthand experience. What I gather and what I believe in my own mind and what I share with other people, a lot of times it's in a way that's kind of coded, and that needs to be too in certain circumstances. I mean, let's face it, every single place you're in, or certainly I know from my experience that I am in, I'm being listened to. I'm being, if not by people, by electronical devices, anything on the grid, or anything that, like cell phones or computers, anything being powered by the grid is can be listened to and accessed and used for different reasons. Things can go out when everything's electronic. It's open to corruption and getting fucked with. And we live in a time now where, yeah, certainly, I don't mind being a voice for a revolution, not the revolution, because we would not. Because I certainly have a voice. That's a beautiful thing. I've used it very effectively, and I've saved my own life. And I'm not a bunch of like a credit whore, but I've saved a lot of others in processes you would never hear about in the media or the news or from anybody else because they don't go talking about it. But I've moved along processes from others. When I see things going bad for others too, I don't just I've got my own way to work, and so does everybody else. So pieces of shit exist in every walk of life. So do good people, from my perspective. You might not like somebody. That doesn't mean I'm not going to like you because you like somebody that I don't like. Doesn't mean I'm not going to like you. I take everything from person to person. I try to, but nothing's one size fits all. Just because my way works doesn't mean yours way. Well, if you think you can take something from what I'm doing or my experiences and use it in your own life for something good or make it your own, that's awesome. I've had to believe that by seeing too. That a lot of the things I've done have been used by other people, and sometimes that's the biggest amount of respect I can get is seeing somebody in my general or surroundings, not because they're trying to make fun of me or fuck with me, but because they're taking something that I did, making it their own in a general way, or that's and it goes unstated too. But back to what I was saying, certainly there have been times like this. I remember what I was saying about the media. It sounds like Germany's in a pretty cool spot right now. So, as far as a statewide or countrywide, and I learned that by listening to relevant news media, independent journalism like PBS World. I love the PBS stations, their documentaries and such that, and information that is certainly not controlled by pixelation and a lot of editing and audio without video, video without audio, mixed audio. It's real documentation other things going on, and not just in our country, the world, and true history or true media. It can be history. So another thing about history, I found from my own experience that like some of the books I'm talking about, I'll find up in the window. Certainly, Jesse Ventura has given me a, not personally, but by his Bam. Oh, look at Bam here. You little camera whore. We'll give you some time there. No. My little shit. My little minion. Hey, don't spill the bowl. Um, what I was going to say is, yeah, I don't know. Certainly there have been times like this, but this is a time where certainly I can speak for this, our own country, because I've been around, I've seen the general state, and I've seen things that are happening again, especially where I go. Some people say it's not about me, but in this case, it is. When I travel anywhere, when I go anywhere, the stuff you see, and a lot of people like to talk about very vaguely, and I can understand why, but um, like land clearings, um, people people going to jail, people get turning up missing. Everything has to be handled in its own way, and I know people from all walks of life, which is a great thing. I never say their names, but I've learned a lot too. I go places most other people don't go on my journeys. You might see me walk in somewhere or go someplace that most people stay away from, but I've learned a lot of things that way. I've been in life and death situations over and over and over, and I've been in through some tough situations, and certainly the point I was getting to is that has taught me a lot for my future, and that's what I've often stated is the metaphorical book that matters, not the mythical ones or the ones that have been compiled through different documents throughout past. Um, like the unless you're talking about, that's a good segue. Got to get a little product placement in here. Unless you're talking about, hold on, let me get this right. The updated version of the Holy Bible, the Ghetto Translation, also known as the Rills. The updated version, too. You want to make sure you get the updated version. That's the real book that matters. But other than that, the book that matters in my mind is a metaphorical book that we write in the present and the future, not, the past certainly is something to learn from. That's why I tell stories and stuff. I tell things from my past to relate in a way to affect current situations, not to guilt monger. And I don't hold grudges, and I'm not a rat. People can trust me from all walks of life, and thankfully that's catching on now because and not just, I keep my mouth shut when people help me out with information or, and I don't believe everything I hear. I have to, I'm kind of like a reader. That's how I like to put it. People can call it psychics, call it whatever I am. I can read things, and not just the literal maybe translation that could be put out there is and read like wording and stuff. Of course I can read that, but I'm a reader. That's what I like to put it. What else was I going to talk about today? I don't know. I certainly don't mind being like not for the revolution, a revolutionary type of circumstance, because I'm certainly not one to sit and organize anything on a formal level. If people want to talk to me, they need to talk to me one-on-one, to collaborate, to do whatever. But yeah, I certainly don't mind being voice for change in this country, especially when our land's getting cleared, our people are getting killed. There's formal government who knows of them. Pedophile rings that are just to let run loose. What really sickens me is years ago, everybody people in a group and pedophile comes, oh, he gets killed, they get stitches. You don't want to hear about stitches, pedophiles get snitches, whatever, yada yada yada, kaboom kaboom, and Now it's just unfucking believable and sick. You look into my eyes and you think I'm fucking joking. I'm not. That motherfuckers who are known fucking pedophiles are allowed to walk around with protection from the government because they've become fucking informants or fucking giving off fake information, at least never any information that is of any like real fucking weight bearing, meaning, yet that information is used not on a formal level so much in this country, but to use to, build cases around people or throw them in jail or, corrupt charges. And certainly with bullshit laws on the books, like fucking substance possession, substance ingestion, anything nonviolent or non-sexual, and not because somebody said so, but because they have fucking proof. The media wants to go and put people on trial, like the gentleman, though, is still sitting in prison and innocent for the fucking Dark Knight, Aurora, Colorado, and I have a lot of fucking personal, love for the Colorado area, and because they've been through a lot of what you see going on around here right now. Fucking lots getting cleared, and it's fucking pissing me off every day when I see fucking new spaces forming in the society around me, and that motherfuckers are involving themselves in this. If you work on a federal level, if you're working, not because you're anything, I'm not gonna fucking name it, like Fed, CIA, blah blah, undercover, there's so many different forms of the government, or people that have outsourced for the government to work for them. Let me tell you something, they're going to kill you too. Now, if you work for that, either quit. You can find other independent entrepreneurial work. I would suggest that you quit. I would just suggest it. I'm not saying you do anything that it doesn't work for you. We all have our own lots in life and our own situations. But I would suggest that if you're fucking involving yourself in this, you quit, because it's not going to be fucking tolerated. I've heard rumors or hearing, spoken voice of them wanting to come over and do the same fucking thing they've done to Myrtle Street. By the way, about a block over, where houses, 4 lots are fucking been cleared. They like to use fucking signs. They like to use trucks. They used to like to use false flag fucking sirens and shit. They like to use trains to segregate. Apartheid, as Nelson Mandela so aptly put it. They like to use that to confuse. If you got a siren going off over here, I know from experience that it could mean they're dumping fucking people over here. If they've got entrances blocked, everything has been, and I'm speaking of this not because I'm bitching, but because I am bitching about things in my current environment that I've been through, and I don't want to see the goddamn same things that I've seen and are happening again happen any further. Their plan is to segregate down to enough, and then what happens when they're done with that? It doesn't matter what they've offered you or in the past. It's what have you done lately for me in their office. They studied you when they came in and offered you, riches, whatever they offered you, deals, breaks from charges they set you up around. It doesn't matter. Certainly those positions can be used to the people that have been involved in those. They can give back. They can give intel to people like myself, like people who will not rat them out, first of all, and who will use that to further processes that are a positive in this country, and not fucking the government. And I say the government in general. That doesn't mean any one person. It just means the government from the top down. They're fucking clearing our land. They're fucking mowing down people's houses. They're full houses where all the belongings are. The people aren't there anymore. They're kicking in doors. They're going in homes, raiding people, non-violent, fucking non-sex offending. A lot of times the same ones going in and fucking with that process are the same one doing it themselves. You fucking get a fucking audit on those people's lives, you're going to see some motherfucking shit, motherfuckers. Don't come fucking telling us what's right and wrong. Society can be monitored and handled very effectively by its own people. I saw something just recently online about I don't know if it was real or not. I didn't get to check out the source. My electronics get inundated, so a lot of it can be spyware. Which, when I say spyware, I mean like them putting pictures and stuff on my screen to make it look like the web, but it could be false. It could be pixelated or fucking edited. But the point being, what you see around you, don't let it be a situation. I'm suggesting that you make it like, well, you can't talk about that, or no. Information can be, everything can be used negatively and beneficiary. Certainly, right now, for instance, they're fucking weather can be used. And weather can be controlled, and it is being controlled and manipulated. Let me change that wording up. Katrina wasn't no just happenstance. I'm saying that out of love for all the people who went through it, and hopefully it doesn't happen again. And these Hurricane Sandys, they have full ability to control the weather now. Now that can be a good thing, but it certainly is not being used currently as such. Where we have drought regions and fires, those places need to be rained on by real rains, not sticky rains or rains of red juice that I have nothing but confidence to know spread the fires. So yeah, we need to stop having tornadoes like happened around here this past summer. Not just in my personal area, but in areas around it. It's not all just about me. I've known that. That's what I do. I'm always aware that other people. Hopefully, I have been paying a path where other people will not have to, go through the same, horrors that I have. But that is what it is. I'm here today, and I'm fucking. That's all that matters. I don't have time to sit around and think about all the bad shit that's happened. Certainly, I wouldn't still be here. I would have, given up. I'm most sick about the present and current things that go on. They're so fucking negative. And that's when I speak. I love to have a good time, man. I'm all about having fun and shit. But that's not what's going on now. How can I, get no, I'm not even gonna say that. Radio edit. How can I relax and fucking have a good time? Fuck. Anything that I got off track. That track twack there. The weather. It can be used to bring decent conditions to winters. I've heard we're gonna have a horrible winter. It hasn't turned out that way yet, which I've been grateful for. Certainly, another thing I want to talk about is like Ebola, HIV, cancer, things that are very close to my heart, not because I have them, but because I've known plenty of people who have. These are things, let's face it, this earth has been around, I'm 5 billion years, I'm not sure about the exact. Anyway, we've had advanced civilizations that have, come up, risen, fall, different, geographies. There's been being here all the time, and I'm trying to think. You can't tell me that we don't have, because I'll tell you we have. I mean, we being the government, or not just our government, they have the answers to a lot of the problems that plague us. They're not changing those on purpose. They're wanting to fucking segment down society. They use words like depopulation, which is an alright word, or little things. I like to call it exactly what it is: genocide. And I think that's much more apropos term, an appropriate term for what's going on, rather than, I don't like to sugar things up and call them, depopulation. No, it's weather control. It's formal murder. I'm not saying that I don't think, in my mind, that people don't deserve to die on occasion, but that doesn't mean to torture them and to fucking, Anyway, that was completely besides the point. What I'm saying is people, in my mind, even though I don't advocate for it, or I certainly don't do it, there is a time for people that should die, that maybe like people that, have been just involved in fucking tearing up people's lives and or involving themselves. There should never be a formal revolution on the basis that anybody has any position. I don't believe in collateral damage whatsoever. We're not George W. Bush just because we don't like something or something was made up doesn't give us a right to just go bomb mass schools and like areas full of children and women and men and families. We're not like in New York where he was standing over the process where those that was an inside job, but that's here nor there. It was still done to people that so many people cared about, and it is good to talk about those things. In my mind, it is good to, that's kind of the philosophy of, anything from history if we can learn from it. And certainly, we're in an age now where everything is. I grew up on the internet. I was on the internet when I was 9 years old, the dawn of the internet, before anybody else was really on the internet. I was on it. And that's a damn good thing in my mind, because right now where we're not getting real world news about the rest of the world, and I have no idea what kind of media we're putting out to the rest of the world, but I'm sure it's sure to make everything look from what they're wanting to how it is, whatever it means by that. But technology, since we don't have a lot of independent journalism, I mean, like stuff like this that I'm doing or a lot of other people are doing is sometimes the best information. I'm not saying ever believe any one thing. I would just, if I had to suggest something, I would suggest maybe do what I've done in general. I take from life, and I have what I can use, and I leave what I can't. That's why I'm neutral across the board. I have friends from all walks of life, which I never name on a formal level, but the fact of the matter is that, when they come from all walks of life, and, it's, I forgot I was going to wrap that. Huh. Must have something to do with all the pot I was smoking this morning. By the way, I am available, and I'm being 100% serious and certainly I could use it at this point in my life, for any acting gigs, promoting. I wanted to show something here. I was felt good about it. But yeah, basically just to kind of try and wrap it up so this doesn't go hours. Yeah, I don't believe in collateral damage, like, meaning if somebody did something that is beyond rapport, whatever, that needs to be taken care of independently. Certainly, I don't think it's a good thing to handle things. I don't handle things in the courts or on a fucking legal level. I have thought about suing the federal government and the city government plenty of times, but it's not that easy a thing to do, and I don't want to put all my energy into that, or any energy really. It's too much fucking McNaughton. Anyway, so how we win, friends of mine, ours, me, we don't organize on a formal level. We keep anonymous. The only organized crime is coming down from the government right now. And you need to be litigiously aware. It's good to know laws because I know them. Okay, first of all, things. You never go in for questioning. If you're arrested for something, God damn it, go to your jail cell. It doesn't matter whether you did it or not. Do not ever fucking make statements to the police after you've been arrested. If they're intimidating you when you're talking to them, don't give up any information. You can, sometimes I might get verbally, pissed off as I would have just do because, but I don't go telling them anything. Omission is completely okay. Fucking lying, generally, you don't want to go in ever, even if you did something. Say you did something, for example, that is against the law, which certainly that could be a million things. You don't ever want to go in there or get in arrested and like start telling them long law or when you're being detained. You don't want to tell them a bunch of stories, a bunch of lies. Not because I'm judging whether it's right or wrong. It's just because that's everything's being recorded these days. The stuff that they can use to prosecute you, that's what you got to be aware of. Or, even if it's fucked up, even if it's bullshit, you got to be aware of how to handle it. You go to jail, you sit it out, and, they might put 5 charges on you. That doesn't mean they're going to keep 5 charges on you. They're trying to intimidate you. Another thing, you never give consent unless you absolutely want to. I mean, you can make your own choices. I mean, I've been in a car before where I've had every time I've been in a car, I had nothing. So, we'll say. Anyway, there have been times where I got pulled over. I had nothing in there. Can we search? Or there have been plenty of times I got pulled over and they didn't. They searched it anyway. They can just say they are or e-file it that way. Or anyway, never. I would suggest never allowing, be an apartment, be it a hotel room, being your house, my house. All those places I've been, I never grant consent to search your property. It doesn't matter what fucking story they'll give you, because believe me, the police can lie, the feds can lie, they can lie, and they do, to try and elicit statements to get into your place. Never grant consent to search, and always be aware anything they can see through a window is probable cause. So if they can see you smoking or doing or whatever, or fucking chopping up bodies or whatever there, that's probable consent to enter. And the last one, maybe not a bad thing. Who knows that? But anyway, yes, but we can be organized. Anonymity is where, because we're up against unbelievable forces, anonymity, and people talking to people. There's so much texting going on. I hate texting, and I understand some people can only text in situations that they're in that they can't talk out loud. Find some time to go talk to somebody. Talk to somebody on the phone. So much gets lost in interpretation, and when everybody's talking, or like people saying, go tell somebody that or this person said, talking one-on-one about real stuff without vagueness and ambiguity. That's how I relate to my friends or people around me or that I associate with. But also, I know if I'm on the phone or if I'm out in public, I'm always aware, like I was saying before, and you should be too, that there is the ability, not that you're always being watched or listened to. I certainly always am, everywhere I go, anywhere I go. That's fine. That is what it is. If it wasn't, it would not be. However, you have the capability to be too. And, if there's somebody of interest, I take my own, I take personal accountability for what I do. I speak out about this stuff. I know I'm not popular with the government. You know what? I take full accountability for that. Anything I do on a regular basis, I feel little no guilt about it. It's not premeditated. Anything that I ever feel guilt about, it's not premeditated, because I wouldn't be doing it if I would have seen it. I fuck up all the time. Not in real bad ways, but I make mistakes a lot, but that I learn from them. That's how you get better. I get better. I use you a lot in a general sense when I'm speaking and ways to talk, and people think I'm talking about you. No. Communication is something that I'm certainly working on, and it's hard. It's hard for all of us. But yes, defending ourselves against processes that are killing us, literally current times. Their plan is generally, I know this, if you don't, I do, and there is not even going to be qualified. Plan has been, anybody that's can already come and go from this earth, or the people on it, or certainly, so many people from everywhere, universally, we're in a state where we're getting our strings pulled, and point is, right now, in my current geography, just like everywhere I've traveled, it's and stayed for any amount of time, it's getting fucked with majorly. And I appreciate all the people helping out in any way they can, because even though it'll never be audibly qualified, I see things all the time that I'm happy about, and people doing things the right way. And what I was saying about technology is that's information. I certainly am very picky about what I watch, and but sometimes I watch some of their stuff just to educate myself, even if it's something that I'm not for. I don't know. Gonna wrap things up. Oh yeah, I got something. I've been rumored to go long every now and then. I don't see it myself at all, but what do you know? It could be. I mean, or it couldn't be. One of the two. Check this shit out, man. Hold on. I'll show you first. That's fucking cool. See where that, see where that is right there? That was right there on this. Got something from Google. And on this day, let me bequeath. See that? Greg Redden, 8-Ball Entrepreneurial Enterprises. It's pretty cool to get in the mail. I don't know. It's one step in a long billions of them. Hello from Google. You might be surprised at the number of people in Sioux City who are searching Google for exactly what you have to offer. These potential customers looking for a business like yours. Let me explain. Your current customers likely search for your business by name, e.g. Greg Redden 8-Ball Entrepreneurial Enterprises, and as a result, your Google listing shows up in their search results. Prospective customers, however, tend to search by topic and city, e.g. entertainer, Sioux City, in which case they're likely your business won't show up, especially if you're in a neighboring city. But there's good news. More often than not, they're looking for information you could easily provide in an ad, be it your expertise, a special offer, or the latest, most sought-after product. Try an ad on Google and see if more customers will find you. We'll give you $100 free advertising credit when you spend your first $25. For most businesses, that fee of $100 is enough for an extra 6 weeks of ads. To redeem this offer, blah, 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 blah. That's cool. That's a beautiful thing. Obviously, I'm doing something right. I mean, to give myself credit. Occasionally, it doesn't. I like getting credit, but if it doesn't come from somebody else, then run that how. Anyway, it's cool. That could be good for me or anybody that wants to, hitch their wagon to mine. I mean, in business or entertainment or, sports, because now I'm getting, like I have been long, a lot of advertising capability offers, and, it looks like I get a pretty good discount, So, and also, to put over Google and YouTube a little bit, they give you an opportunity when you post videos like these for monetization. If your videos get enough hits, certainly mine hasn't gotten to the point where I've started getting paid for, but all in due time. So, yeah, I'm gonna wrap for now. Oh yeah, what I was going to say is I do have a new number. If you want that, you're going to have to ask me for it. I'm certainly not putting it out on this forum. Let me see what else. You can respond. You can get a hold of me via email. I get thousands of emails a week, so I check my email when I can, but it's not like I can read every email. Another thing is probably best way is if you see me online, hit me up on there, get my number from somebody, ask me for my number on like Facebook or something. I don't know. I'm not hard to find, believe me. You should be able to figure out how to contact me if you need to get a hold of me. I'm available for acting. Promotion, business ventures. I'm currently looking for somebody to invest in a lot of my ideas, or like I'll just leave it at that because I could go a couple hours on that subject. But certainly there's money to be made, and it's always my stance that if somebody's investing in me or collaborating with me or working with me or employing me and for however long to do a certain gig, um, I'm there to make the whole process better, make everybody money, and I certainly, hold myself up to that standard, and it'll be done. Um, and then when that happens, certainly I get cut down some, but an initial investment is very appropriate, and I can be trusted. And I think that's kind of got the consensus these days between people that know me, which is a great thing. And but where I'm at. That's about it, man. I'm gonna go fucking smoke some more pot and lazy. My motherfucking day's over. There'll be a lot more videos like this, of all different kinds, not just like this, but I'm gonna try and stay more updated. Um, I'll be putting out art by a good friend of mine, ours, known as Drac. And it's just the wicked coolest shit, man. That's the best I can say about it. I'll be linking them to my websites and also on Craigslist. The prices are very appropriate for the cool shit he's just winging out there. He's got a lot of stuff I'm going to be putting up, and it just very one of a kind, unique. Uh, Fucking unconventional. It's what is absolutely needed in this time, and it's art of all different kinds. And be sure you check him out. You can see him through my stuff that's upcoming. And don't be afraid to hit me up if you want to buy something. Certainly, um, I'm very good at that. What happens is, we negotiate one on one. That's the way I like to do it. And then, there's valid ways of payment and stuff, and I would ship them out to you. So get a hold of me. I'm not hard to find. Other than that, I'm outie for now. Late.